Okay, YouTube, I'm energetic tonight, and this is Homemade Steam Engine Part 11. Okay, only really thing new I've done, I spent about 2 days yanking and pulling on this big fat nut right here, which, it looks just like that. It looks like it's one piece, but it's really two. And then, it dawned, well actually, my father told me, it dawned upon me, that I'm an idiot, and you know what? Why am I worrying about getting it out and putting Teflon tape around it when I could just put some caulk around the outside? Then, if need be, I have 2 spools of Teflon tape, which after it dries, I'm planning on wrapping it in. Okay, first off, I'm an idiot. I know that, but yeah, so after this dries, maybe in the next day or two, because for some reason this caulk always takes forever to dry. My chicken's over there making noise. By the way, look how big he's gotten. But, anyway, after this dries in a day or two, I'm planning on testing it. And if all needs be, I'll put my smokestack back on with another screw this time. Originally, I just had this one in the front. I'll put one in the back this time because I like holding it by this. It's nice sturdy, but I was always worried that it might pop off. And then I'll probably, the last thing to really do would make sure my oil system works. I'm confident it will, but I've never actually tested it. So, I gotta test it. It should, because everyone else that's done this system, it's worked for them, so. I haven't changed anything, but I put in a valve and my oil tank's a little different. It's not a can, but. Anyway, so, yeah, I sealed it up. It should work now, and if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, 1 through, 11. This is 11. What I'm planning on doing, I'm putting a pressure gauge right here. This is just an end cap. It will pop out. My air compressor hose is going to go on here. And originally, I called this steam engine. Yes, it is a steam engine, but this pressure cooker here, over here, it is a Maid of Honor 4-quart pressure cooker. Okay, old pressure cookers, if you don't already know, are nothing short of bombs. Most people would suggest strapping a whole bunch of these to your chest, firecrackers, and it would be safer than using a pressure cooker. What happens is these things get hairline fractures that are microscopic, you can't see them, and then you use them and it goes kablooey. It might not happen the first time, might not happen the second time, might not even happen the 76th time, but eventually it will happen. On top of that, there's pitting and damage to seals. So I'm going to keep this as a nice antique, I guess, or maybe a tip. No, I'm not probably going to use it. I'm scared. So I'm probably going to turn this into an air engine with the later option of maybe if I can find a safe boiler, like a propane tank or something else, you know, use that. But I also found out this. Air pressure and steam pressure are 2 different things. This is what I've read anyway. When you're dealing with air, PSI, pounds per square inch, you have 60 PSI, it's 60 PSI. Steam, however, is kind of unpredictable. It's changing, it's constantly under pressure. It acts like air, but if it heats up, which you have heat under it, it keeps building more rapidly. And when you introduce it into a new environment, it can expand more. And apparently steam also, you're heating up the metal, so it weakens the metal, obviously, and on top of that, something about the steam, it corrodes it quicker and failure, so I don't want to die. That's a goal, but my point is I wanted to show you these pittings. These little dots here, they're not actually dots, they're holes, and that's pitting, and what that does is that's those hairline fractures that have gotten big enough to see. I actually did use this thing in the correct way, and I got it up to where the steam was hissing out, and it was just barely wobbling the little wobbler back and forth, but then I quit because it started leaking steam. My seal heated up and expanded, and it didn't work quite right. But anyway, it's pretty much done.